Here we go with lesson 3 of the youth communion class here at Grace Lutheran Church. In this video, we'll talk about what the power is in the sacrament of the altar, in Holy Communion. I want you to think about if you had a favorite food, a food that you loved more than anything else, and you had that food in front of you, and your friends began to laugh at you because you were eating that food. They didn't like it, they thought it looked funny, it tasted funny, it smelled funny. You probably wouldn't want to share that food with people who didn't appreciate it. Well, that's some of the power that is present in Holy Communion as well. It's a sharing of a food that is very special to God because it cost Jesus his life. We ask, what gives the bread and wine such power in the sacrament of the altar? It's Jesus' words given and shed for you, and the presence of Jesus' body and blood in, with, and under bread and wine. It's not just something that the church does because it's always done it. It's not something that we do just to add time to a service. There is power in communion, power that brings forgiveness of sins, life, and salvation. Power that gives us the energy to live as Christians every day. It's not something to be taken lightly or for granted. That means if you have friends who are visiting here at Grace and you take communion, and maybe they don't understand what communion is, you should encourage them to learn more about it, but you shouldn't invite them to take communion if they have no idea what's happening when they take the bread and wine or the grape juice. It's not for people who don't know, it's for people who know about Jesus and who know about his life, death, and resurrection. Because Jesus is sharing 3 things in the sacrament of the altar. First, he's sharing forgiveness. Forgiveness that he earned for us by dying for us. If someone doesn't understand that, they don't appreciate what it cost Jesus, his life, in order to offer this gift of communion to us. Jesus also offers to us salvation, life in heaven forever. Again, if you've got a friend or someone who doesn't care about that, they don't need to be taking communion just to fit in. Communion is not about just fitting in. It's about receiving salvation, eternity in heaven with Jesus. Communion is also given for us. Jesus shares with us in this giving of his body and blood the strength to live the Christian life. And so again, if someone doesn't care about living the Christian life, if they're not sure what the Christian life is or if they want to be a part of it, then they don't need to be communing. It's not bad if they don't commune. It's kind of like if you don't want to share your favorite food with someone who doesn't care about it, that's okay. It's okay to say, well, you know, I will enjoy this special food. I will enjoy this gift. And maybe someday, when you appreciate the way it tastes, or you appreciate what it is like to have this food, then you will share it. And until then, you just say, I'll keep it and eat it myself and enjoy my favorite food on my own. It's the same with communion. There are some people who should not share what Jesus is offering. A person who doesn't believe in God shouldn't be coming up to communion. A person who doesn't care that Jesus died on the cross for their sins shouldn't be coming up to communion. A person who doesn't want to have an active life as a Christian shouldn't be coming up to communion. Communion isn't for everyone just because they come to church. Communion is for people who want to have that relationship with God, who believe that God sent Jesus to die for them, and someone who wants that strength and energy to live the Christian life. There is power in communion that shouldn't be taken lightly. People who aren't ready to take communion should stop, think about what it is, and then prepare their hearts to receive that gift that God is giving to them. We'll talk more about how to receive that gift in lesson 4. But in this lesson, and for this video, I want you to understand the depth of the power of communion and what it is like to share something very special. The way God shares communion with you, he doesn't share with everybody if they're not ready for that. He wants everyone to be taking communion, but only when they're ready. When you finish this video, make sure you answer all the questions and fill in the note sheet for this video, and then go and enjoy the next family activity. I'll see you again when you're ready to do lesson 4. Have a great day.